Hello and welcome to the Roussos podcast. It's great to have you on board for episode 33. Woohoo! No, seriously, it is great to have you here. It's episode 33. It's only going to be a short one today. I just wanted to leave something digitally out there online for everyone to come and grab as they need it, because I know there's over 400 million people that could take use of this. This is history changing. At the moment, you can probably tell a little bit of excitement in my voice, but I guess until people start using the program and healing and we start to get them to trickle through, is the significance of this program going to take hold on the world. It's going to be one of the most profound things ever to hit the world, the globe, anywhere in the world, anywhere in history, because if you look back through our whole history of humans that we've got anyway, there's more history that we don't know about, but if you look back at that history, no one has ever healed anything in its entirely permanently cured anything in our medical history. We've found eradication techniques, we've done management, treatments, basically we've done everything except for cure it. So no one in human history, no person, no doctor, no anyone has ever cured anything, full stop. Okay, so they've never got to the actual root cause of it and cured it. And so back in 2018, August 1 to 14, I was the first person in the history of mankind to actually permanently cure and heal something. And I did it by finding out the causes and making a plan. All the details are out there in some la land somewhere, and I'll be on about 400,000 podcasts once this comes out. But at the moment, I'm enjoying my anonymity. Oh, I can't even say it. It's very early in the morning. I'm still having my first coffee. And by the way, I'm back home in Burleigh Heads. So I brought up in Noosa and Melbourne originally, but I've just spent some time, 6 months down in Melbourne, and I decided what would I want to give myself for my birthday on the 7th of June. And on the 6th, I got in the car and drove to Burleigh Heads. So there you go. That's what I gave myself for a present, a homecoming. And while I love travelling and getting out and seeing this big, beautiful country, this year I've already been to 4 states, doing my thing. While I love that, I need to establish a more solid foundation base here in Burleigh Heads. I love this place. This place is healing without, I just need to be here and it's healing. It's a very special place. So the anxiety uninstalling program starts on June the 20th. Okay, there's only a dozen people because I need to be able to control how many people are doing it. You got to remember, this program in the past, I was the first in August in 2018. Since I've gone on and helped other people. But to do that, I've had to move into their house for at least 3 weeks. I've had to educate them on everything that I've sort of studied over the last 30 years, physics and everything. And then we do the 14-day protocol. I've had to get up. I've had to cook for them, do all the programs, do all the therapies, everything that we have to do. It's basically a boosting the immune, detoxing the causes, and then a whole lot of therapies thrown in that creates something that is quite magical. Basically, we're getting the body to a state of homeostasis, or a form of it that has never been reached before, where 80% of the things that you go to your general practitioner, doctor for, actually melt away. So that's going to aid us in part of this healing. But also what we're doing is pretty much just doing a biology reset. Those chemicals, everything that's chemical, your brain, the thermograph, it sparks off an electricity spark which sends a message, a high speed message to a muscle, and muscle sets off a chemical, and the chemical makes that muscle move. Everything that we do is chemical. So when you're messing just finitely with these little bits of chemical all across the body, we can run into what we call having an anxiety decision. It's actually a chemical illness. It's not mental illness. But we are holistic creatures. So the reason why we've caused it, body, mind, soul, the way we get out of it, body, mind, soul. We're going to start on the 20th of June. If you don't get into the actual program, don't worry. It is going to be free for everyone to get from my website whenever they want for the rest of eternity until everyone is healed. This gives me great confidence knowing that our future is going to be disease-free. Okay, you probably can't see that in your level of consciousness or awareness or knowledge or what you know, but I've been working while you've been getting 2 kids, the car, the house, the mortgage, and getting involved in the rat race. I've spent my whole life devoted every hour, not worked 40 hours, but worked 120 hours a week for the last 34 years, just studying us, human beings, souls, the physical side, the mental side. There is no one else on earth. I'm a numerologist of the highest order. Okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I've also taken spiritual applications and made them practical so that people can see that it works. We are coming into the most exciting time of our lives. The next 7 years, you are going to see more discoveries and have more aha moments than any time in our whole entire history. And that's even going back hundreds of thousands of years. So this program is about, 1, education. Okay, so the first couple of weeks is just about education before you go live. And you don't have to go live on the 1st of August. That's the anniversary. So I've decided that we're doing it on that day. You know, that is one of the most emotional times. You imagine having an incurable disease. You want to not be here anymore, and you beat it. You go against what the whole world says and you beat it. Can you imagine how I felt? How emotional, how empowered, how confident. It just opened up a whole array of thought lines that just went to crazy places and thought, wow, what's next? It has enriched and given my life meaning. Before that, I was like, seriously? If that's life, you come here and you work and you die, man, we're getting ripped off. What a bloody shit show we've just come into. I can understand why suicide levels aren't decreasing. I have had a theme of suicide in my life throughout family, friends, loved ones, people I come across. And it is disgusting. Disgusting. This is going to be the first step towards us rewriting our own humanism. At the moment, human nature, what we call human nature, is a collective result of everything that we've done, conditioning included, and got to this point, and the collective is like that. So now it's time to break open. In the past, right, and you'll probably feel this, in the past, up until just recently, the whole Earth time, this, even last, just say what we know, like the last couple of 100,000 years, or what you guys get taught anyway that's wrong, even in those last couple of 100,000 years, we basically, we're talking about a shift. There's something that has happened that has now made it possible. So what happens is, as we go along, in the past, shit things have happened. And it's not necessarily been evil people. That's all they knew at the time. Whereas now, the time is right. So, I know you think things have been the same for 2,000 years. They're not going to change. But I'm here to tell you it's going to change. It's going to be a bit of a shock. So the program, just so you know, risk-free, complimentary, meaning you can do it side by side with anything. It doesn't have any interactions with anything, any medication or therapies or treatments or anything you're having for anxiety, right? You've got to remember, I had this chronically for 10 years. I was the first to do the program. I've seen it been done in others, but it has to be done to the T. Yeah, we're trying to create change within your biology. We're trying to create, if anxiety is happy in your body, we're going to change your body. If you go to your doctor and you say, doctor, if my body's in a state of homeostasis where everything is working at optimum, everything's doing what it's supposed to at optimum, and it's like, your brain is regulating your body and you eat waste and toxins and it just gets rid of it. Fat just gets rid of it. When everything's working at optimum and you're in a state of homeostasis, ask your doctor, can you get anxiety? And he'll say, no, it's probably impossible. Can you get cancer? No, it's impossible. All right, well, fuck you. We'll get you to that state. I'll show you how to get your body to that state. Okay? Look, the only thing that's a little bit controversial or thingo in the whole program is some CBD oil. I included CBD oil originally in the program because when I was researching, I found to be, my thing of causes and how to boost the immune system, and therapies and grounding and water therapy and all these beautiful things that we can do to personally grow and also give us some self-love while we're in this healing space. We're changing frequencies. We're doing things multidimensionally to basically free you forever of this anxiety. So we're going through all of that. We're getting it all out, but basically it is all natural, all for you basically to come and get it at your own pace. So in the past, you have to do. If it says do this, don't do this, there's a clear list with don'ts, do's, how to create the change, everything within there. And it's going to be on this website, Aaron Roussos, AARONROUSSOS.org. AaronRoussos.org. It's going to be on there forever. Okay, you can put donations there towards a disease-free world and ending homelessness eventually as well. That's another program and thing that I'm doing. But basically, I want this to be available so that the 400 million people that have anxiety and they're on medications that want to heal themselves can start heading down that way. Yeah. And they can go on there and they can just do it, and then they can be surprised, and then they can have the smile on their face like I did that you can't wipe off for months, and then the sky's the limit, right? Could you imagine even just in Australia, I think there's $30 billion worth of pharmaceutical medications for anxiety alone every year. Where does that money go when you're all healed? It comes back to the people. Okay. At the moment, I'm not sure where you're listening from in the world, but in Australia, cost of living is at record highs, probably higher than most places around the world. And it's not really worth being here, to be honest. You go to work, tax upon, then go and spend your money as tax, and then this tax, but everything, the cost of living, the food, rent, everything's sky high, and there's nothing left over at the end of the week. So basically, we were just working for the machine. We're working as part of a thing. So unless you've got a side hustle or go into business, you got no chance of getting anywhere. You used to be able to get my grandfather came here in 1948 and worked 3 jobs and bought a house in Carlton in Melbourne in the city in 7 years. He didn't do that until the 60s. But, he'd been here for a while and renting and were doing factory jobs and worked at the Holden factory and all sorts of stuff. Now, these days, they say that young people in coming into this market, impossibility. They will never, ever, ever be able to do that. So with that in mind, I know you can't see it at the moment, but things like this is just one. Yeah, this is one of many, many things that I'm going to share. Okay, this is not the end of it. You think, oh yeah, this is, it's really profound, really great. It's just the start. So I just want you to just share it with people. Anyone that you know, if everyone knows that when you've got anxiety or an anxiety disorder, a condition, ADHD, even if you've got PTSD, this is a resetting tool with the chemicals. It's really, really helpful. Once again, what we're doing is it's for you. I know what it's like to be you. I know what it's like not to have control, to clammy hands, popping in the ear, anxiety, panic attacks. I had no quality of life. I was just trying to come down, spend all day trying to come down, and then a couple hours sleep, bang, straight up again. It's not a nice way to live. It's not a nice way to be. It's like something stuck on. And, part of the reason why I found the answer, obviously, my whole life has been one sum of this. Like I knew, when I'd come on the other side, I was like, yeah, well, of course it was going to be me. I've studied neurology, physics, quantum physics. I've done all this all my life. I didn't know why I was doing all this. I've never used all of this stuff. But in the healing of myself, I had to make all those connections and remember everything that I'd done before. And it all equated to a sum that fixed, cured permanently my anxiety disorder. Okay. That was back then, 2018. It's now 2025. Okay. We're coming up to the 7-year anniversary when we're doing this. I'm telling you now, I haven't had a problem since. There was an adjustment period, I'll give you that much, of chemicals being dispersed. Like I had to teach myself how to be a little bit anxious again. But as far as the anxiety, panic attacks and disorder, gone. My quality of life has come back 100%. Obviously, it's been weighted down by no one wanting to know this information. Like, yeah, I understand, guys. Yeah, you're all out there. No one's ever healed or cured anything, so why would I be different? And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not... to call me a doctor is probably an insult. I knew what doctors knew 20 years ago. I am just into you, and it's hard also because I'm a very loving humanitarian person, and I'm willing to give it to you for free. Who gives you something for free these days? No one. Who gives you... so it's just like it's playing on your mind. That cognitive dissonance is there. Look that up. It's there, and your brain's going, oh, hang on a minute, something doesn't make sense here, it's too good to be true, good to be true, blah, blah. And most of the times in the past, if it was too good to be true, it was. So anyway, I've got to get on with my life. And this is part of me saying, look, I love yous all, but I've been bashing my head against the wall, screaming out with a megaphone, travelling the country, travelling the world, correspondence with hundreds and thousands of people now, and no one wants to know. So... this is me going, look, I'm going to do this program solid. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to leave it for anyone that's got anxiety or an anxiety disorder that wants to come along, pick it up and heal themselves. Okay? That way it's there. I can move on with my life. I can't keep restrictively helping, 8 people a year when 400 million people have the problem. I've got to think bigger picture. And also I need to get on with my life, yeah. I have just not only spent most of my life, a good portion of my life, trying to make things better for humanity. Even before I had this disease, I had another problem for 20 years. So all the things that I've done in my life with the numerology and doing that for 34 years has all been in service to you. It's all been for selfless reasons. But now that I'm fully healed, and also I've done a lot of personal shadow work, I guess you could call it, and I've healed and forgave all of those that have wronged me in my life and all that sort of stuff. Now I'm on the other side. There's no karma here. There's only beautiful joy and great experiences and happiness. So the only thing that's stopping me from being happy is knowing that I have all of this great knowledge inside me, and you guys don't want it, or you're not taking it, or you're not ready for it. That's the only thing that's holding me back from having the most amazing life that any one of you would be totally envious of. And so this is just my way of going, all right, I'm going to put it here, but then I'm moving on as well. I need to get back to really having a rip of myself. I do lots of other things. I'm a bit of a renaissance man. I call myself a multi-potentialite. Look it up. There's a group. There's a whole movement around the world with Emily from Putty Like. And we are just people that have more than one profession, more than one interest, it was, back in the old days, it was seen as a really good thing to have more than one interest. These days, they pigeonhole you as a chef and that's all you are. So you go for a job or something and they go, nah, but you're a chef. The world is changing. And obviously whatever we've had is not so correct. So that's all I want to share is this program's there. Let everyone know. If anyone has an anxiety disorder, they can pop in and try it. Once the numbers start coming through, I'm sure it's going to go like wildfire. And I can't wait for all of you to experience what I experienced. That's the end game, yeah? I had a love wash. I had feelings wash over me, things that I just can't even explain in words, that are so beautiful, that is so amazing, that happened after I've healed myself. And it is an awakening in itself. And I've had big awakenings before, but this was an awakening in itself. So I just want to say, please share it. Let it out there so that if anyone's got this, they can just go there. And if they want to, they can help themselves. This is the Roussos podcast. It has been a pleasure. We're back home in Burleigh. I'll be down on the Esplanade doing numerology readings, pop-up numerology readings. They're on my website if you want to book. Or you can just pop down and see if there's any spot on the board. Anyway, have an awesome time, day, night, morning, wherever you are, all around the world. Ciao.